Hi everyone, welcome in. Sorry I've not made any videos in a while. I know it's been like a very long time. It's just like, yeah, it's it's just been like a bit of a like it's been a very like tough 2 weeks it's been. Because unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, the stray cat we rescued, Gingy, um, unfortunately passed away. Like I know he was elderly, and like by that age, like they start getting issues. But so I was just double checking. Yeah, just recording. Um, so yeah, I just like didn't really want to come come on camera and talk about what's happened. I just didn't feel ready at the time, and I just didn't have the enthusiasm, as I'm sorry, to make videos. But I will be making some videos today, as I just feel, I feel I can do it. I can do it today. But yeah, I just sadly two. It was 2 weeks ago, around 2 weeks ago, it happened, and he like went in the morning time, and yeah, he just stopped breathing, and he was with Luke at the time. I was at work, and then Luke like tried to do first aid CPR on him to like see like to of course like try and what he could, and unfortunately nothing worked. So I quickly came back from work, and we took him to the vets, and then unfortunately at the vets they told us that like sadly hasn't made it. He's sadly gone, and it was like and like our heads were just gone. We just wanted to get out of that vets, and you know when we and just like just take him away from there. And yeah, the amount of disrespect we got from the vets on the day, it was just unbelievable. We've had to literally put a complaint in about that as well. Like, it's just shocking. Like some vets, I'm not saying all vets, but some vets, just like, just can't believe it. The way they just treat animals sometimes, and they look after animals. That it's just like one of the shocking things. Like, imagine training all these years um, to like treat animals, and even like even if you're on the reception front desk, you must still love animals, and you have animals at home. A lot of people that work at vets do have animals at home, and it's just to think like all these people, all these years trained to be vets, and then they just treat animals like trash. So yeah, there was a bit of disrespect on that day. We've had to put a big complaint through, and me and Luke are not the types to complain. We're literally not Karens. Like, we just like just ignore things usually. Um, but this one, like, we had to like complain, and um there was just things that weren't making sense as well. Like, they encouraged us, the vets did, to get his operation done with his eye, as in the previous video when we introduced Gingy, as well. His Basically, I was mentioning about his when he was a stray cat outside, sadly another animal attacked him, so his right eyeball went to the back of his eye. So we had to have the operation done for that. So when we rescued him, the vet like suggested that we definitely get the operation done. Like, it's that he really needs to get the operation done, making it sound like he will just like it's risky if he doesn't get it done. So that's the reason we rushed and got the operation done. And luckily it was successful, the operation. He was looking good. And, the leaky right eye, he had like a fluid coming out of his right eye. And luckily that stopped as well. So he's looking really good. He looks so, yeah, he looked really sweet. But one thing we have started to look into things. And I know you shouldn't look into things too much, but we have started to look into things. And after the vets, we did notice that he did have kept getting colds after he had his big operation on his eye, which was really weird. It was like because he did have like a very blocked nose when we first rescued him, but within a few days of just keeping warm and eating, he within yeah like sorry within a few days of eating and keeping warm, he his blocked nose went away, and he was completely fine. And he was like, bless him, just walking around like you couldn't really see. His eyesight was just like literally gone, even his left eye. So he was like walking around and like trying to find his way around, bless him. And then like And then when he had the operation, it was really weird. He kept getting these colds, and we don't know if he caught something at the vets. We just don't know on the day of his operation. And then like his operation happened. Then they gave us antibiotics, they gave us paracetamol, everything because of what he's like. An operation like that is a lot. And then like they left. There was an issue where they unfortunately left one stitch in, as well, by the vet who who basically got his stitches out. So one stitch she accidentally left in, but on the day she was a bit abrupt and rude a little bit, so we had to we've had to report her as well. So she left so she left a stitch in. We had to make another trip to the vets to get that removed as well. And then it's just, but yeah, we've just had so much. But the main thing our main complaint at the vets is mainly about that did they not sense that he was on his last stages, because he more likely was if he was. I know he's 13, but he's passed. He's now he's sadly passed away. But did the vets not sense he was on his last stages? They saw him twice before the operation. They saw him at least a good 3 times after the operation. So did they we just questioning did they not sense he was on his last days, or were they just more fussed on making money from the operation from us? So, and I've been and since Gingie's passed, I've been looking into it, and a lot of people have had problems with the same vets as us, and also other vets, where they have said that they will encourage this and that for money, even you know even if it's a chance that it could harm the animal, harm the pet, sorry. But we've read, we've been reading on stuff like that, because they must have sensed it, because that he was on the last days. Unfortunately, me and Luke have never had an elderly cat before, so we just thought he's elderly, and that's all. So if he when he was catching colds, we just thought, oh, him being older and everything, and sometimes he'll have low energy, and sometimes he'll have loads of energy and just be walking around everywhere. um and so because we've never had an elderly cat, so we didn't know. But vets, they're medically trained, so they should have knew. That he was on his final stages. There's no way he didn't know, or if he had even if he had something, they would have knew. They do this all the time. They look after animals all the time. But yeah, I just um but yeah but yeah, it was just, so that's what that happened. So yeah, we've just been thinking about a lot of things that they must have knew. But they just were really fussed on getting their money, which is so unfair. And we're currently paying monthly installments for the operation. The operation was 1,500, and we shouldn't pay the installments anymore, as this operation more likely killed him. They must have knew he had something. They must have knew. They even took his blood test, and then they said there was nothing in his bloods. So we're not medically trained. We ain't meant to know if an animal's on their last stages. We sadly wouldn't know. But yeah, it just makes us more wary with our current with Billy and Cleopatra, which our sorry current cats. I mean, which we've had we've had for years, Billy and Cleopatra anyway. But they're both very young. One's 2, the other's 3. So it makes us very wary that if this vet suggests an operation for them, we're gonna try going to a vet that has good reviews and just double check with another vet to see if they do need this operation, just in case our own vets is just trying to scam us again. So we do feel very they just wanted money and they just scammed us. And the disrespect that was shown on the day of him passing, it's just to think these people say they care about animals, but it's just making me think they don't care. And it makes them more wary of Billy and Ciao. If they need an operation, we're going to double check if they do. We just can't risk it again. I just think the operation took it out of Gingie, and because he was an older cat as well. But I understand he was a stray cat. Of course, stray cats, catch things outside. They unfortunately get ill, sadly, if they're outside. And another thing I want to say is Gingie's previous owner is just a total trashy human. She just dumped him. Sorry, I've just revealed the gender of her. Sorry. She just dumped him and then pretended he wasn't hers. But obviously she just dumped him because he got old. That's all it is. He was microchipped, and when we went to the vets to get him checked, they even contacted the phone number of Gingie's previous owner and couldn't get through for 2 weeks, and even sent a letter to the address that Gingie's microchip was, registered in, and no response still. So obviously, Gingie's previous owner is a total piece of trash and just scum to this earth for dumping him like that. Who I just don't get it. Like, yeah, if you don't want an animal in your life if you don't want an animal for life, then just don't get one. If you don't look after them for life, and you don't want to look after them until they're old, then just don't get one. If you just want one for social media that just, they just make you look good on social media, then, you don't deserve one. Like, just don't bother. Just literally don't bother, because you're going to be that horrible owner that's going to dump the animal one day when they get old. So obviously previous owners couldn't look after Gingy because he got older, and that's what happened. And then just dumped him and nearly left him to die outside. And then, we were just so happy we rescued him, and we were so, we were just so happy we were getting him better. Like, anything the vet said, we did. Like, we wanted him better. That's all that mattered. We wanted many more years. He deserved many more years. And, we're just so grateful that he chose us. We're very grateful for that. And, he's just such a nice, sweet cat. He just made muffins all day. And because bless him, I think because years of being a stray cat and being by yourself, trying to survive by yourself, and it's horrible out there for animals, it really is. And by himself trying to survive, and must have just been horrible for him, must have been so lonely. And then when he finally come into his house, he just fell in love with everyone. Honestly, he was just making muffins, loved strokes. Literally, he loved hugs. He'd literally put his paws like that around you for a hug. I've never seen a cat do that. It's amazing. And but I read somewhere that older cats are a little bit more affectionate anyway. But I think because he was a stray cat, he was even more affectionate because he was by himself sadly all these years. But of course, I can't reveal who the previous owner is of Gingie's, but I just wish there's stronger laws in this country of people that dump their animals. I just wish there could be stronger laws in this country that those people really get a fine or get something. Get something for dumping animals, because those sick fucks that dump kittens and dump puppies in bins and stuff because they were too lazy to get their own cat and dog neutered. Neutered is the word. Yeah, my brain's gone. Who and then dump their babies and separate literally a mum from their children and just dump their babies in a bin, and then do that to those babies and put them in a bin. How would they like it? They were shoved in a bin and were locked. You know what I mean? Shoved in a bin and just got, and literally the bin was locked on them. Imagine that. And those poor kittens, they probably can't even make it out of the bin because they're just born and, they're just so tiny. And people are just dumping kittens and stuff in the bin. They're just, what scumbags. It's are you literally, if how exists, they're definitely going there if how does exist. But yeah, I just think it needs to be stronger laws. Otherwise, Gingie wouldn't have, been dumped in the first place. But we are very grateful that he chose us, and he literally was in our garden. And we look back, and the day we rescued Gingie, he did look like he was on his last stages. But we just thought because he's older and he's been a stray cat all this time, he is going to be weak outside. And his eyesight literally went by then, because we used to see him in the garden and he could see before, and he used to climb fences. But his eye was getting worse and worse, and then on the day we rescued him, his eyesight was just really bad. And he just looked so sad that day when we rescued him. And then when we brought him inside, he was just literally happy immediately. He was just immediately, he was just happy to be inside. Bless him. He was just wanted affection of everyone. And then, honestly, we had him for 2 months, and we're so grateful for the 2 months we had Gingie. He just was so affectionate, so sweet. Made the cutest sounds as well. We just absolutely love him. We absolutely just loved him just as much as Billy and Xiao. Honestly, he was like a big brother to Billy and Xiao. And Billy really looked after him. Poor Xiao was scared of him. Bless her, because she's just scared of strangers anyway. In the house as in. So I think she was scared of him. Bless her. We tried to encourage her to go to him, but she wouldn't. She was so scared of him. We're he's blind. He can't even see you. He's got nothing to worry about. And then Billy was just protecting him. And then go fiery with him here and there, because Billy likes to be the king. So As in, like, he'd just, like, just do his little noise at him, like, get away from me. But he was protected. He used to watch Gingy and protect him. Even in the garden, like, Billy protect him for months. And honestly, we already had a bond with Gingy before we rescued him, because he used to come in our garden that much. And we just naturally started calling him Gingy, because being Ginger, it just happened. We're like, Gingy, Every time it's like, hi, Gingy. And, he was just really sweet. And yeah, so, like, yeah, the vets are currently investigating. They said they need 14, I think it's working days or 14 whole days to look into everything. It's because we've also asked, like, on the day of the operation, like, what was used on him, what injections, and because, like, the anesthetic, isn't it, they give, yeah, before an operation. So the anesthetic was that was, what I mean, like, I just really just want to know what was used on him in the operation. I know it sounds so petty, and it sounds a bit petty from my side, but I just want to know, like, was there something that was used on him in the operation that caused him to, like, start getting colds and cause this. We just don't know. Or did he already have something? We just want answers. That's all we want, is just answers. So yeah, just waiting for a response from them. And and I will, like, yeah, I'll update on here what was, what response we got. Of course, I can't reveal the vet's name. I don't want to do that as well. But yeah, we always got to remember Gingy. He was so good to all of us. Honestly, we're gonna remember him forever. Like, he was amazing. And we just loved him just as much as Billy and Ciara. Yeah, he was already part of our family. He was a big part of our family already. I just we just wanted to, at least, just even if it was just a few more years with him, we would have just been so grateful for. He just went too soon. We only got 2 months with him. It just feels, it just still feels empty. It just, like, it feels empty without him. We still miss him so much. But yeah, so, like, may Gingy rest in peace. But yeah, I just want to give a quick I just want to make this video just to let everyone know what's happening. But yeah, I'll but yeah, I'll definitely put an update for next time. See you all soon. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, definitely see you all soon. Don't worry.